Welcome to the show, everyone. Support comes from ZBiotics. Now, I have to tell you about this product because I actually use it. It is called pre-alcohol. Before you have your first drink, you take this little probiotic shot and it helps your body handle the next morning so much better. Here's the deal. When you drink, your body creates a toxic byproduct right in your gut, and it's that buildup that gives you that rough, heavy feeling the next day. It's not dehydration. It's not the wine. It is that byproduct. So pre-alcohol was created by PhD scientists to break that down before it becomes a problem so you can enjoy your night and feel more like yourself the next morning. First time I tried it was before a dinner party that I always tell you about with friends. Had my pre-alcohol first. I drank responsibly, enjoyed the cocktails, and the next day I was up early, ready to do the show. And so that just sold me. So if you want to make the most of every toast, tailgate, and celebration this holiday season, bring pre-alcohol with you. Go to zbiotics.com/lemon to learn more and get 15% off of your first order when you use lemon at checkout. The code word is lemon at checkout. They offer a 100% money back guarantee, no questions asked. Head to zbiotics.com/lemon, use the code lemon for 15% off. Now let's get started. Yes, let's get started. And we get started with the wonderful and fabulous and smart. I have to put smart there first because I don't want to, I don't want to objectify you, but also gorgeous.
Thank you. I could have used some ZBiotics last night.
Fiorentini is a political commentator, comedian, and the host of the Bitchuation Room podcast. Did you really do a ZBiotics or you're making fun of me?
No, I should have. I didn't, and I feel like I'm paying the price, even though I didn't have alcohol. It's a long story. What's up, Don? Do they have ZBiotics when you're like, I'm about to get sick because I have a 3-year-old kid? So good to be back with you.
Yes, thank you. It is. You can take emergency, and then there's like something that should, what do you call it? Stave off the flu. There's a thing that you can take for that. And so I get my vitamin C like this. What do you think?
Okay, can I get one of these though? Because I really like that and I need a new water bottle.
It's in our merch store and it's part of our holiday collection. But you could do it all year round. What colors do they come in? Blue, red, or something. And then this one is this is like
Hi,
a purple.
Mrs. Mia. It's very cute. I like the lavender. I'm all about it.
I was just saying I'm very white lady with my Donley.
Well, so the way you're sipping it.
It's like a Stanley, but we call it a Donley. Donlemon.com on the merch store. It's great. This is filled with lemonade. Later, it will have something else added into it. Nice. But I got to do a ZBiotics first before I do that.
Nice.
How was your week and how have you been?
I've been okay. It's just a heinous week. And especially someone like me, I'm trying to do less breaking news, which is why I love joining you on your show. I'm trying to do longer form. Like I put out a video. Everyone should check it out if you like Wicked. It's a whole political analysis of Wicked, Elphaba, Glinda, the revolutionary, the reformist. Let's go. But like this week, there's been so much, Don. And I feel like every week is awful. But this one, there's like just layers, so many layers.
Awfulness.
I'm thinking of like the Somali community in Minnesota that's been just squarely had a target on its back. I mean, for years, white supremacists have targeted the Somali American community, and now the president is as well. I'm thinking about the 6-year-old in ICE detention, who we don't know the whereabouts of. To say nothing of the JD Vance going like, "Hey, is anyone still in this group chat? It seems dead." So yeah, there's just a lot, Don.
Well, yes, you're right. The thing is, here's a weird thing. I cover a lot of politics because that's what's in the zeitgeist, I'm sure, as you do, but I don't really like it. I'm not a political reporter, but when Trump is the president, he takes over everything. And someone was talking last night, I forget who it was, who was saying, he's like at every sporting event. And then it was this morning. We had Representative Chu on, and he was saying, Representative Wu on. And he said, he goes to a football game or whatever, a playoff game or whatever it is, and they just hand him the mic for like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. And
he shows up at the AFC or whatever, the wrestling thing, everything. Arts. He got an award from FIFA. Well, that's
I mean, I also like, let's be real. Like today's FIFA award was so emblematic. FIFA. And here we go, FIFA creates a peace prize knowing that Trump was so thirsty for that Nobel Peace Prize. And Don, I think this is a real, like, all sports fans know this, and especially soccer fans, but just recognize how corrupt your governing bodies are. And this is case in point. You know you're corrupt when you're trying to buy off an American president who is really open for business and bribes. So
Oh my
he's
gosh.
right there, and you're like,
Really
here
open
you
for
go.
business.
Here's a little, you know, so it's so pathetic. It's almost more pathetic that he put it on immediately. Like, at what point is he self-aware enough to know that they're pulling your chain, they're trying to sweet talk you? He doesn't really care, again, so long as he gets part of the kickbacks, whatever they might be. FIFA is a notoriously corrupt institution.
Look at that face though, Francesca. Can you push in on that, Andy? Can you zoom in on that? Look, he looks like you're a something, Mr. Grinch. What is it? You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
You smell like dirty dipes.
Bah, humbug.
You're
Look at that.
laser. You're a
For this.
scoundrel. I could go on. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The eyebrows are definitely giving Grinch.
Is this worse than the Time magazine photo? This is, I mean,
You're not getting a bicycle for Christmas, you brat.
It's mine, my trophy, my FIFA peace medal. Like, it's so pathetic. Look, I know there are maybe there are people who like are jumping into the stream who voted for Trump or who still like Trump. Do you see this guy? Is this still your guy? Today, he just said that national parks will no longer be free on Juneteenth. Okay, they're going to be free on Donald Trump's birthday, June 12th, for some, I don't care and I don't know. But you're like, how petty, how obviously racist, how, like, is this the guy you want? Like, this is strength to you? This is what you think is giving you results? I mean, the polls show that they know it. They're not getting results with him. But like, the idea even that, like, performatively, he's a man. It's just like, yeah, men don't need medals to be like, oh, I'm a good boy. That's like a dog needs a medal.
there's video of this, I believe. Isn't
Yes.
there video of this? Andy, do we have video of this? But I know there is. But Donald Trump receives the inaugural Peace Prize, the FIFA Peace Prize, which the soccer organization awarded during the World Cup draw in Washington. This is truly one of the great honors of my life, Trump said as he accepted the award. The award winner was hardly a surprise. Trump has been the assumed victor since FIFA announced the creation of the prize a month ago, that it said would reward individuals who have taken exceptional and extraordinary actions for peace. And therefore, we honored Ebenezer Scrooge with this award. Oh, no, sorry. I misread that. Donald Trump with this award.
I mean, to say nothing of how many hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza have been killed, or thousands since the ceasefire was announced. I mean, this is all we presume it's because he did peace in the Middle East, and he has not done that. Sadly, the media has moved on, but people are still being killed and maimed and injured every day.
Francesca, can we talk about that? Because I've been saying this forever. Like days after, not even days after, they started firing again. And so how can they actually claim that it is a ceasefire or a peace deal when no cease has happened and no peace?
Absolutely. I mean, I think it's because you have to just play the media, and the media is very easy to be played on this issue, particularly. To be honest with you, like your, I guess, former colleagues, Jake Tapper and Dana Bash have been some of the leading voices in not speaking openly about the genocide in Gaza, and being very, very openly calling students anti-Semites, or like suggesting that they are anti-Semites because they are protesting, the killing of civilians there. So it's disappointing, but all you need is to say, we did it, we did the ceasefire, and then you can go back to the low-level ethnic cleansing that has always been going on in Gaza, except now you've gotten a 2-year, a mass acceleration of a project that was already going on. But look, every 2 or 3 years, Israel had been waging war on Gaza in response to an action from Hamas. So Hamas might have killed like 1 or 2, usually military, right? And Israel would react by killing 3,000, 2,000, 1,200 Palestinians. Again, multiple, like just absolutely overreacting. And no one really covered it. We don't talk about it because it was just sort of presumed that that's sort of, again, the low level violence that is happening both in Gaza, but also in the West Bank. So yeah, it's just about getting the control of the narrative. And I think Israel understands that pretty well. And sadly, American politicians are too willing to go along with it.
Do you think that, I was on a panel the other day with Ben Shapiro, and he said, I love what Barry Weiss is doing over at CBS. And I said, well, I have a different opinion about that. But
did Piers Morgan rope you into a panel?
No, I don't. No, I don't do panels. No. This wasn't a show panel. This was, sitting on a stage answering questions from a moderator. Yeah, this wasn't that like on someone's show. So it was me, David Pakman, Tara Palmieri, and Ben Shapiro. So we disagreed on that. But I'm just wondering how that you feel that has infected the media, since you mentioned what you think folks have done and what some of the voices in the media are doing. And some believe that that's what's happening with Paramount and CBS right now and Barry Weiss.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they are hoping to try to control, the narrative specifically around this issue. I mean, Larry Ellison and David Ellison are, I think Dave, right? They're well-known, Zionist pro-Israel supporters, have been for many, many, many years. And that is definitely the goal. That's been Barry Weiss's entire goal as well, when it comes to reporting and how to report on, not just reporting on what's happening in Gaza. I mean, there are people that work for the Free Press that are like, I'm undercover at the Muslim conference. And they're literally wearing like hijab undercover. I mean, some of the most Islamophobic, racist, non-reporting you could possibly imagine. I think it was like a Palestine conference or something like this, and I can't remember her name, nor do I care to. But, I think the real prize also for Ellison and for people who still somehow think either support Israel genuinely or think that supporting Israel is politically advantageous or wise, which it is not. Look at the polls. The big kahuna, I think, for the Ellisons is TikTok. I think they are, in addition to CBS, really trying to get control of TikTok. And, you can hear this from both sides of the aisle, if you can call it that, on this issue. I mean, you hear Hillary Clinton this week talking about how, people and young people are being misinformed because they're seeing dead children on their TikToks. And so, yeah, I think that's also is a version of making even a bigger media conglomerate than it already was. So,
that's a toughie, because it's hard to look. I try to, and I'm a journalist, and people ask me these questions, right? So I was at a dinner and I tried to explain to people Mamdani's appeal, not as like I'm a supporter of Mamdani. I was just like, look, I'm out there. I talk to people. I go on the streets. As you know, you've seen my man on the streets, and I actually talk to people, and they tell me. And so I tried to explain to people the appeal of Mamdani, much as I tried to explain to people the appeal of Donald Trump. I did not support Donald Trump. I'm not saying that I don't support Mamdani. I'm just saying. But so I think people thought I was an anti-Semite, because they were like, well, Eric Adams can beat him. And I said, you're out of your mind. Like, you really need to get out. I'm going to leave New York and I'm going to go to Texas if he wins. And I was like, do you really think there is another place in America, another city in America that is more pro-Jewish than New York outside of Israel? Like, are you like, and I'm an anti-Semite. I'm like, no, I'm just I think New York is like a pretty good place for Jewish people. I think it's a pretty good place for Black people. I think it's a pretty good place for, you know what I mean? There's diversity here, right? Everything has their ups and downs. But as far as being pro-Jewish, I think that New York is pretty darn good. New York, Los Angeles, and just, big metropolitan areas where there are diverse people with open minds, and they don't believe in anti-Semitism. So
absolutely. Or nor, and let's
go to Texas.
And I really think that what I appreciate about Zoran Mamdani's run, and I think what I've appreciated when I used to live in New York, and I think something you learn when you do live in New York and you travel around and you have to get to work and you're with everyone rubbing elbows on the subway, is that everyone, regardless of race or religion, is deserving of respect, and everyone's trying to make a living. Everyone's trying to, get their things together, get to work on time, get their Christmas shopping done, take the cat to the vet on the freaking C train. I mean, it really is for all people. And I think that Mamdani really captured the New Yorkness of that inclusivity. And I think when we separate anti-Semitism out from other kinds of hatred, because look, man, I lived in New York in the wake of 9/11. I was there on 9/11. I lived there in the wake of 9/11. The kinds of Islamophobia that we saw openly, right? I remember I went to a comedy club. I'm a stand-up comic. At the time I wasn't. I was younger, but I went to a comedy club. We're talking like these comics are throwing out like sand N-word. They are like openly mocking Muslims in the wake of 9/11. And on the one hand, you're like, look, it's a comedy club. They're saying whatever and it's fine. But truly culturally, New York was a hostile, both in policy in terms of surveilling the Muslim community, but also in culturally in the racism towards the Muslim community. And so it's like all kinds of hatred are bad. And I really think we need to push back against the idea that one is worse than the other. This is not a competition. This is not a race. This is about actually finding all forms of hatred and nipping them in the bud. And I feel like Zoran's entire win was saying, hey, as a Muslim man, I actually can stand arm in arm with my Jewish colleagues and neighbors, and I support their human rights just as I hope and imagine they support mine. That was the revelation of Mamdani. But the revelation of Mamdani was really just about his working class agenda of affordability that somehow everyone's trying to make as like, affordability is such a weird, it's a what did Trump call it? He was like it's a tricky,
he said it's a Democrat hoax.
It's a hoax. What are words even anymore, Don? Like, the word affordability is a hoax. Okay, sure.
Wow. Oh, this one is interesting. You see that?
I unsubscribed from that other capital C channel.
Can you please tell them that you're a very busy woman? You have your own show. You have a child. And I invite you on all the time. They're like, Don needs to have her on more. She comes on when she has an opportunity.
Yes. And I love coming on. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, go. But also, if you want to support me, youtube.com/Franny Fio. Again, the wicked deep dive you didn't know you needed. Yeah, it's important to, I think, it's important to hold people who we respect accountable. And I think when this person's talking about that other channel, I also think we need to start asking more of all of our media figures. I mean, obviously, I didn't mean to like go after Dana Bash or Jake Tapper. I think they've done great work, but I also think we need to hold them accountable when they can do better. And I think even on progressive side, on leftists, Democrats, we should all be in good tension with one another and open to talking. And I also think there's some lines, man. I feel like, there's lines. If you're going to throw trans people or black people under the bus, in my opinion, that's just not like, I don't want to throw down with you. I will debate you, but I don't really want to be, I don't want to boost your stuff.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too, is sort of what you said. And I will, I want to play this for you because I had a very similar moment that I was not even aware of, sort of the criticism online until I did an interview today with a reporter from Mediaite, the media site that focuses on media, because of the Netflix Warner Brothers possible merger.
Yes.
And he brought up a speech that I made this week, just day before yesterday, night before last, on was it last night? It was the night before. When was it? The night before. And my colleagues were there. So my former colleagues were in the room, and one was standing behind me. And people said that, oh my gosh, how dare you? Like, not how dare you, no one said that, but they were saying trying to call me out for calling out my colleague, and I wasn't calling out my colleague. I was calling out the industry. And
Yeah.
it just so happens that, look, we all work in this industry. But anyway, here's the speech, and then you and I can discuss it. But watch.
Yeah.
And let me say this very plainly as someone who is now in independent media. Independent media has no time for false equivalence. We don't have to insult our audience by pretending that both sides are the same when one side is grounded in truth and the other side is grounded in lies. We don't hand our platforms to people whose only purpose is to distort, distract, and demean. That is a luxury that legacy media might still indulge, but we will not. Because when our rights, our safety, and our humanity are under threat, telling the full story, our story, through platforms that we own and control isn't just important, it is essential. It is survival. It is how we honor the truth and protect our community in a world that too often benefits from our silence. And silence is no longer an option. Cameron Hall.
I mean,
Where's the lie?
where's the lie?
So wait, so what was the flack? What was the pushback? What happened? Someone came up
There was
to
no,
you?
no push. Just I didn't realize the comments. Tommy Christopher came on and he goes, and I did a thing. I posted something about you in the comments that I had on social media were like, you were calling out your colleague and your colleague was embarrassed. And I'm like, former colleague. And I was like, that's not what I was doing at all. But, look, I don't watch CNN anymore. So I don't know. I see some of the clips and people are very critical of some of the folks who they actually allow on their air to spew lies they believe. And so, look, I've been saying that since I was even at CNN. Nothing has changed about my stance on this, except now I can speak even more clearly about it.
It's interesting. It's funny. When I do tune into a CNN panel, which is usually after the fact, I'm like, they really are kind of going for the Piers Morgan model, like the kind of, let them fight, catty eyeballs model, which, I will give credit for, like, actually having people who might disagree or things might get heated. But what is productive out of that? Like, if you have on someone who is just going to lie, or someone who, is just not even engaging with the ideas, or someone who's just like an out and out like racist, like, I feel like there is so much in this so-called big tent. Anyone left of like, like, I don't know. I don't like, I'm like John McCain and what's his daughter's name that I'm always Megan. Like, anyone left of like the McCains, which are like pretty far right. Like, we have our own stuff to discuss and talk about. And also we're more based in reality. Like, it's interesting. It's an interesting moment, but I do feel that I agree with you that, we cannot both sides all of this. And yet both sidesing it is exactly what corporate media has to do, because it has to be safe enough for their, the people who own them, and the corporations that want to advertise on them, and the corporations that want to merge and get more and more and more of the market share, and then lay off 100 people or 1,000 people. And we're going to see all these layoffs from the Netflix, Warner Brothers merger. It's like, so these are the things you're not supposed to say. And God, Don, you've done such a great job here on YouTube. I'm so happy for you, seriously. And we're not totally free of the algorithm. YouTube is its own beast. And when they choose to censor, they can. And we don't fully have real ownership. And were we to live in a democracy, and I've talked about this on the show before, we would actually make legislative change to make real, public airwaves and radio, both radio and television and the internet, truly fair and accessible and truly owned by the people. I mean, look, one can dream. If the right dreams, if the, white nationalists dream, then we have to dream too.
Francesca Fiorentini, don't go anywhere. Here's what I want you to do, okay, Francesca? I
Yes.
want you to dial out and then come back in, because I think it might clear up your signal, even though it looks like it's getting clearer right now. And then we're going to get a word from our sponsor, and then we'll be right back with Francesca. And I have a lot to talk about. We got to talk about this new Epstein stuff and so much more. First, a word from our sponsor. The show is sponsored today by MSI Reproductive Choices. They provide contraception, safe abortion, and essential reproductive health care in 36 countries. In many of those places, they are the only provider. This has been a hard year for women and girls, especially in the remote communities and MSI serves. International aid has dropped. Programs are shutting down. Options are shrinking. But MSI is still standing. They saw what happened after the first Trump administration, and they diversified their funding to survive. Even so, they lost $15 million in support. So how are they still getting care to women who need it most? Because people stepped up, people who believe women deserve choices, people who understand that healthcare is a human right, people who know that when a woman controls her body, she controls her future. It's people like you, okay? So for $65, you can provide contraception for 10 women for an entire year. That's real impact. You can text LEMON to 511-511 or go to msiunitedstates.org. That is M as in modern, S as in safe, I for informed, msiunitedstates.org. Text LEMON to 511-511. Text fees may apply. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holidays always bring up traditions for me. Some we keep, some we outgrow. We try to make our own. For me, it is the food. It's my mom's recipes. It's my family in the kitchen. And every year I remind myself to slow down and to enjoy it. But I've learned that one tradition I needed to rewrite was making time for myself. The holidays can be joyful, but they can also get chaotic and even a little lonely. Therapy has become a new tradition for me, a space to check in, take a breath, and end the year with more clarity and less stress. BetterHelp makes that easy. Their therapists are licensed and follow a strict code of ethics. You fill out a questionnaire, and they match you with someone who fits your needs. And if the match isn't right, you can switch at any time. So with over 30,000 therapists and more than 5 million people served, BetterHelp has helped a lot of people find support. So if you want to start a new tradition of taking care of yourself, try BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off at betterhelp.com/Don Lemon. That's betterhelp.com/Don Lemon. All right. Thank you to our sponsors. Francesca Fiorentini back in just a moment. But I wanted to show you the moment that we were talking about earlier with Donald Trump. It was like that weird picture with him picking up the trophy. This is the video of Donald Trump receiving this FIFA World Peace Award or whatever it is, the inaugural one, in a very strange event. I mean, I think they made this award just for him. But as Francesca said, this president is open for business. And so people are trying to get into business with him. And they know the way to do that is to flatter him, to give him what he wants, basically what his cabinet does when he has those cabinet meetings. You're great, you're great, you're great. And now FIFA is doing it. Here it is.
Welcome the very first winner of the FIFA Peace Prize, the 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Please. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, this is your prize. This is your Peace Prize. There is also a beautiful medal.
He's huge. Did you guys know that? We never really look at him from the side. Can you roll that back, Andy? I mean, look at him. He's twice the size of these people, but he has nerve to call someone piggy. But I want you to look at, he's walking. Wow. Wow. He's a big guy. And what does it say on his medical thing that he weighs 100 and some pounds? Anyhow, I'm just saying. The only reason I'm pointing that out is because he had the nerve to call someone piggy. Someone said BBL. Unbelievable. Francesca Fiorentini is back with us. Hi, Francesca. Did you move locations? That is way clearer. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone.
Of course, now I can't hear you. This is just
you
the
can't
week
hear
I'm
me?
having. Folks.
You can't hear me?
Folks, I will leave. I will figure this out.
All right. Anyways, well, Francesca Fiorentini now can't hear us. So we'll get back to Francesca Fiorentini. I wanted to talk about this, which is really important because This is a birthright citizenship. I know we have the breaking news up on the thumbnail about Epstein, and we'll get to that because there's a new investigation that's being opened or reopened. But the Supreme Court has said on Friday that it will hear a case examining the legality of President Donald Trump's ban on birthright citizenship, a high-stakes test of the controversial policy that could redefine who is considered American. So they didn't just send it back to a lower court or say that Donald Trump is right, he can do it. They're going to take it up. We don't know which way they're going to go. One can assume, because they are conservatives, that is mainly a conservative court, that perhaps Donald Trump will redefine what it is, who is considered American in this country. They have yet to set a date for the arguments here, but the High Court has taken the case in time to render its decision by June or July of 2026, when the current term ends. The Trump administration asked the justices to take up the case on an expedited basis. This was in September, after lower courts found the policy, a key component of the president's anti-immigration agenda, unconstitutional, and then they blocked it. Okay, here is the Supreme Court, the justice reporter over on CNN, explaining what is going on. Hopefully Francesca can hear. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right, let's roll the tape and then we'll get her to respond.
Supreme Court just this minute, Brianna, announced it's going to take up challenge to President Trump's order lifting birthright citizenship. You might remember on January 20th, his first day in office, he took his Sharpie pen and he said, this is a big one. And what he did was he tried to eliminate the automatic birthright citizenship that all Americans have had for more than a century. And what that does, it goes to the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that says all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States. That means that anyone who's born here, Brianna, automatically becomes a U.S. citizen. And what Donald Trump's executive order tried to do was say anyone who was born of someone who was not here lawfully or who was here on some sort of temporary status, that person's baby would not automatically be a citizen. It's a very it's probably, of all the Trump actions that have been taken to date, Brianna, this one is the most challenging, because what it does is it flies in the face of the 14th Amendment that was adopted in 1868, and it flies in the face of an 1898 Supreme Court precedent that said even if you were born of, in that case it happened to be a Chinese national, even if you were born of someone who was not here as a U.S. citizen, you definitely still have citizenship here in the U.S.
What do you think there? I mean, he could, hey, look, you were born here. It doesn't matter. You're still not a citizen. And we're changing, I guess, what the Constitution says. And we're amending. I don't know what is going on here.
Yeah, and exactly, and rolling back the gains that were then made by immigrants who had been living in this country for decades. Like she mentioned, the Chinese national who successfully lobbied for birthright citizenship because he was born in the United States and had lived his entire life there, I think, in California, and was like a business owner and everything, and yet still didn't have citizenship. This is the Make America Great is Make America White. I mean, no one is talking about Melania Trump. Does this mean that Barron isn't going to be a citizen? Right? I mean, like, and we hate to bring up these, like, what the answer is, well, of course it doesn't apply to immigrants that I like, and the ones I like, in this case, the MAGA and the elitist movement, are the white immigrants. Like, they're all fine, even though most of the work is being done by immigrants of color. So that's the world and the moment that we're in right now. And the fact that this Supreme Court is going to take it up is super on brand with this Supreme Court. And I think, again, back to my wish list, because it's Christmas, let's actually, when we oust this MFer, let's actually expand and put term limits on the Supreme Court, for the love of God. These people are the most destructive force in our country, and we cannot get anything meaningful done without doing exactly that. We expand it and we put term limits on.
Oh, well, but you know, that's going to take time to unwind. You know that, right? It's going to take a while to unwind.
Nope. Not in my revolution, man. Join it. Let's go. Frantifa. It'll take time with that attitude. The impossible will take a little while. And then, or no, what's the saying? I forget. It's fine.
The impossible will take a little while. I forgot. It's a song too. Yeah. If the folks in the chat will let us know. And I think, anyways, I was going to say
it was something like basically history moves slowly or things move slowly and then all at once.
Yeah.
And I think that, look, with enough pressure, these are the things that sadly Joe Biden was unwilling to take up in his 4 years in office. And I think we are all paying the price for these missed opportunities to not just defend our democracy, but expand it so that all of these wins, all of things like, you know, whether it's the Voting Rights Act, the Civil Rights Act, whether it is birthright citizenship, all of these things that were fought for by people who made this country what it is today, Black Americans, immigrant Americans, people who saw the injustice, who were brought here against their will, whose ancestors were, who saw the injustice, you know, continuing off of, you know, these institutions, and we're like, hey, you know what? We're going to expand this democracy so it's actually going to be a multiracial, inclusive, representative democracy. And that is what this president, this regime is trying to undo. That is what the goal and the project has been for them. That's why they tweet out white nationalist memes and things like remigrate. They know exactly what they're doing. And we can't, you know, just nibble around the edges on these reforms if and when Democrats ever retake power, whether it's the House, Senate, or, you know, or in the White House.
Yeah, you're right. But I mean, just nibbling around it. That's what, look, Merrick Garland was like, I was like, what on earth is Merrick Garland doing? Which was nothing, because waited way too long for the prosecution of Donald Trump on all of it. Other breaking news that's in. Okay, let's move on if you're good with that. Federal judge in Florida ordered on Friday the unsealing of a batch of grand jury transcripts related to the criminal investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, siding with the Justice Department after multiple judges previously rejected similar requests from the government. So this is a U.S. District Judge, Francesca. Rodney Smith said in a brief order that Congress's recent legislation calling on the Justice Department to release all unclassified investigatory materials enables him to unseal the transcripts despite strict secrecy laws governing grand jury proceedings. What do you think? Pam Bondi can't stop this, I don't believe.
Man, you know, in my heart of hearts, you got to wonder if Pam Bondi really is satisfied with her life, spending, what are we going on, like 20 years of defending high profile pedophiles like Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump. I mean, damn girl, that's like your legacy. Like, you've really done that from the time you were, you know, AG in Florida till now. You've been doing this. So I think this is excellent. Remember, this is the case that when it was finally brought, this is the thing that finally, you know, brought him down, right? This was not I think one of the ones that was settled, I believe. And this was when all the reporting we initially got in the 2017 to 2019, all that reporting came out when, you know, mainstream news was covering Epstein left and right, man. Remember that? And as soon as he killed himself, nobody talked about it anymore. Suddenly we didn't talk about it. Killed himself.
You don't believe he did?
Absolutely not. No, I don't believe he did. Are you kidding me? This is someone who had all the information on so many powerful people, including the current president, whose own FBI raided his home and he went to jail under Donald Trump. I've said this before. Put the pieces together. No, but yeah, this is good. We should be seeing all of this stuff. There shouldn't be, other than to protect the names of the victims. This should be out there. And look, Don, there's like, I think a lot of actual Christians and women in the Republican Party who've been carrying water for, again, a Christian nationalist, white supremacist, patriarchal movement. I think they're getting tired. And, I don't trust Marjorie Taylor Greene and people like that, but I do think there is something about being just carrying so much water and weight for your president, and then having him flip on you, turn on you, and deny all of these very clear abuses of young girls and women, and pretend like they have nothing to do with you, they're not important to release, that you're not actually serious about fighting the pedophiles like you said, back in the Q days. I think some people are maybe tired of the hypocrisy, and I hope these are the flames we need to fan within the MAGA movement. Like, yeah, man, hypocrisy. It's alive and well in your party. You should call them out on it.
So you said you don't believe Marjorie Taylor Greene, and do you think that maybe she just got tired of carrying it and she's just like, finally, I don't know, maybe she's seen the light?
I don't know to be honest with you, Don, I don't know what her play is. I feel like she will run for office. It's weird because I always thought she would run for office again. She wanted to be senator. Remember AOC spilled this tea? She was like, she wanted to run for Georgia Senate. Trump said no. Trump effectively admitted that in a Truth Social post that yes, Marjorie Greene had higher hopes and of higher office. So I don't know, but I mean, God, you don't know because you don't put yourself in that position. But if I were to put myself in her position and I was like, living this lie for so long, and then I was like, oh, all these Epstein files are coming out, and I guess my party's not really serious about releasing them. They seem to be running a lot of cover. Yeah, it would probably be a pretty pivotal moment in my political awakening. But again, I just don't know how much, I don't really understand her gamesmanship, or if there is anything. She's not going to win me over, Marilyn, just so you know. Like, there's no winning over. I'm not going to vote or like advocate for Marjorie Taylor Greene. She can go get her people. She could go, do damage control for the shit that she's done. Go apologize to David Hogg. Have we gotten that yet?
Yeah. Okay. I want to talk to Francesca Fiorentini about Candace Owens. I know you have a lot to say about that. And also, have you been paying attention to this Vanity Fair story and Olivia Nuzzi and
What?
Wait, what? So we have only been covering it by like joking about it and the fascination among the what would you call it? The media crowd, right?
The punditerati.
The punditerati. And it's like, are you really going to read that book? I think my producer Peter read it. So,
that's a really fun, like, get drunk on like a Christmas day after Christmas and read with your friends out loud.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to read it. Maybe Peter will come on and read some of it out loud. But first, we're going to hear from Candace Owens, and we're actually going to hear from Olivia Nuzzi. But first, you're going to hear from our sponsors. Support for the show comes from Aura Frames. Every holiday season, I tell myself I'm going to be thoughtful with the gifts, and every year I end up scrambling. And usually that means a gift card at the last minute. This year I'm skipping the panic, and I'm giving something that actually feels personal, and that is an Aura frame. I love these frames. I love these because they make it so easy to stay connected. You download the Aura app, you connect the frame to Wi-Fi, and you can send photos and videos right from your phone. I have family all over the country, and the idea that I can load pictures onto their frame even before it ships makes this such a meaningful gift. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it. So for a limited time, save $35 on Aura's best-selling Carver matte frame by visiting auraframes.com and using the promo code DonLemon. That's AURA frames.com. Promo code DonLemon. This is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order now to get it in time for the holidays and support the show by mentioning us at checkout. terms and conditions apply. Okay. So thank you to our sponsors. Now I need to, let's talk about Candace Owens. And I'm not exactly sure if I understand the entire thing, but Candace Owens, I guess because of her lawsuit, like she accused Brigitte Macron of being a man, right? Or trans or something like that. Right. And then
I love it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite conspiracy that she has, because it's just the dumbest one. It's so, and I think it's definitely anti-trans, but it feels like a little more harmless than that.
It's just stupid. It's
so stupid.
It's Delulu. It is Delulu.
It's Delulu. It really is definitionally Delulu.
So she's saying, because she's doing that she believes, now you guys correct me if I'm wrong, because Peter's more tied into this story than I am, that she believes that the French government is after her, much as she believes, and she said it, that she believes that they were going after her when they got Charlie.
Okay? Don, do you have the chronology on this?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me.
Okay. So again, Charlie Kirk, you can say many things about him, but his assassination was horrific. Awful, awful, awful. The day after Kirk was assassinated, Candace, just rubbing her hands together, realizes that she has an opportunity to make some real content, to get some real eyeballs. Oh, yeah. And so her first conspiracy post-assassination is that higher-ups at TPUSA, Turning Points USA, Charlie's company, conspired to kill him, and that the FBI was vaguely in on it, and that they're lying about the official narrative. So that was like conspiracy week one, got her a ton of eyeballs.
I thought it was the Jews. According to her.
That was later.
Oh, okay. All right.
Then the conspiracy metastasizes, it morphs, and it turns into, well, yes, TPUSA conspired against Charlie, but it was because Charlie was becoming woke on Israel and Gaza, and he was becoming anti-Zionist, and the Jewish or Zionist backers of TPUSA wouldn't have that, and so they conspired to kill him. And then it morphed further, and it wasn't just, American Zionists, but it was Israel itself was working with TPUSA to kill Charlie. And the latest iteration now, for some reason, yes, perhaps because of the Brigitte Macron nonsense, that it's the French and the Israelis and TPUSA all together who are trying to kill Candace Owens. That's the chronology for you.
This is amazing. This is just like,
I'm exhausted.
She had a baby like 2 years ago, and I'm just like, this does kind of feel like what your brain is when you have a child and you have a toddler.
Didn't she recently have one too? Didn't she?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Don. I'm just like,
but not like 2 years ago, but like recently. Like,
yeah, I couldn't remember. It was like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was fairly recent, and I love this for her. Look, imagine you're that important. Like, I love God, man. I'm like, man, I hope people will watch my show. I hope people will, subscribe. I hope they'll watch my new episode. But I never have these delusions that like the French government has put a hit out on my life. And like, I just want that level of fame. I want that level of delusional fame.
Like they really want to kill her.
They want, okay, so
probably they would like to, but you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, I could kill that woman. But you know what I'm saying?
You're like, me, the French government? So the thing about Candace Owens, and I hadn't been paying attention, but then I did kind of a long form video. If people are interested in what's happening on the right now and how they are fracturing over Israel, Candace Owens really factored heavily into my research for that, because she, is very critical of Israel. And it seems in many of her critiques, for very good reasons and reasons that we all are all critical. But then she moves pretty easily into, and look at who ruined the United States with their culture of pornography and psychoanalysis and transgenderism. It was the Jews. And so she's very much an anti-Semite. And so, there's that. But if you look at her channel, Don, it is all conspiracy. It's her looking beautiful at her camera, at her desk. And it's like, 9/11 conspiracies. You got, Charlie Kirk conspiracies. It is every conspiracy theory that you can possibly get. And like, I think that's how the right gets eyeballs. Let's be real. Like, this is how the right gets clicks.
You have to be outlandish. I mean, look at Megyn Kelly, look at Nick Fuentes. But here, don't we have a couple of clips of Candace, don't we? What do we have?
Yeah, one TMZ one, and then like a really long one from her show.
TMZ.
Is there one of her explaining the Israel thing, or no? This is just let's play the TMZ one.
In terms of formal replies that we received from government structures, the only department that we did hear back, well, first let me say I did not at all hear back from the FBI on the American side. I did hear back from the counterterrorism unit. I did hear back from the White House confirming that that message had been delivered on Trump's desk, me saying that I had the information. I guess he didn't want to inquire further, which is interesting. But the FBI left me on red. And I will say I didn't go through an official channel and send an email, and I should do that. But I did send a text message to somebody very high up who received the text message.
Oh,
No response.
I'm just like, I'm sorry. The idea that Candace Owens is personally texting someone in the FBI and they left her on red. I don't know. Historically, it's like, look, if you should not want to talk to the FBI, especially as a Black person in America. I'm like, the FBI is not someone you want to talk to you back.
You're muted, Don.
It's a little nuts, but have you seen who's like reporting in the Pentagon now? Like these crazy conspiracy theories are in the Pentagon. They're in the White House. They're in the briefing room. It's like, it's all crazy right-wing lunatics, nut jobs. So
yeah, they are. And so that makes sense why. So who do you think's in the, it's Bongino. That's Bongino. I have Bongino's number. I texted.
Or maybe Kash Patel, who responded to Candace questioning whether they were taking it seriously and they were going to go after the French government. He responded on as Megyn Kelly's show. Of course it fits. Roll it.
There's been an allegation made by prominent podcaster Candace Owens that she's received a death threat, a credible death threat from the French, that a threat has been made on her life, and that the French, she's been told, also may have had a role in Charlie's assassination. Have you looked into either of those? Do you believe she's received a credible death threat from the French, or that the French had something potentially to do with Charlie's death?
Any American that receives a death threat from overseas or anywhere in America is going to be fully investigated. So we're not going to turn our eye away from that investigation or any others. If there's anything to it, this FBI will respond to it.
Okay, but so far, no.
We are just looking at everything that comes in. We're not going to reject any piece of information. If someone feels that their life is being threatened, we are, of course, looking at it.
He can't even say this is a bunch of bullshit because the MAGA folks are like, he's got to say that he's taking it seriously or give credence to it. But come on, where are we?
But I also, there's part of me that, Cash obviously is a total clown, but like, I'm on if you're gonna gun to my head, Cash, or gun to my head, Cash or Candace is very difficult. I don't know if it's difficult for you, it's difficult for me, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Your concern doesn't necessarily elevate above all other concerns. And the idea that I'm supposed to care about some like uncorroborated death threat from the French against Candace Owens when she's part of an entire, again, ideology that currently occupies the White House that is hunting down immigrants and friends and family and neighbors and community members and kids and people picking up and dropping off their kids at school, parents, I'm sorry, I'm just having a hard time caring because there are actual credible people. There are people died in ICE detention. There are mothers, speaking of Candace being a mom, mothers being taken with having they're having miscarriages, they're having birthing in ICE detention. A mother was ripped away from her child while her child was in the NICU. She was recovering from a C-section. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't prize certain life above others to that degree. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I just couldn't get over. Can I show you something? Can you see me?
Yes.
I'm going to do the Megyn Kelly's lighting or filter. Ready? like, wait, she's not
The
even
softest
in focus.
focus.
It's like worse than Barbara Walters. Look, isn't that? How do you like?
Yeah, but Barbara Walters was like that was lighting. That was all her lighting crew. Also, are Megyn Kelly's eyes blue now? Weren't they brown?
I've never paid that much. I have no idea. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure she's got brown eyes, and I feel like she just had blue eyes. Look, which I'm like, that's fine.
I'm gonna do this though every day. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
That's like how I was looking earlier in the show.
That's so great. Let's see. Oh wow, even more so over here. If I just put the wow, there we go.
And then you got to say something really awful, like, I want to see every fisherman in the Caribbean tortured and strung up by their fish hook. What's wrong with that?
All right, let me get my focus back. And let's get the focus back on the conversation. Okay, so what is going on with this Olivia Nuzzi story? Like, why is the what do you call it? The punderati or the mediarati, why are they so obsessed with this story? And by the way, the news came out earlier today that she has been let go from Vanity Fair. It's over. Vanity Fair, Olivia Nuzzi agreed to part ways. Nuzzi joined the magazine as an editor earlier this year, and then it goes on to talk about, if you've been following the thing, she got pushed out of New York Magazine or let go because I think she was having an affair. She had an affair with RFK Jr. And then it came out via either her or her soon-to-be or her fiance.
Yeah, her ex-fiance.
Ryan Liza, that she had an affair with Mark Sanford, the former governor of South Carolina, and that she was helping RFK with this whatever. And she decided to write a book and all of these things. And then like New York Times is like featuring her in some glossy profile with her driving through LA in a convertible and her hair blowing in the sun. It's like, what is going on? Look, I got to say to this that, because I'm in the mediarati, right? If you want to, and people, all of us like Black journalists are looking at this going, we would never get that chance.
Never.
Some of us have been driven out of networks for lesser offenses, not even a real offense, just because they're like, oh, we don't like, you don't agree. What I was told is the network is going in a direction and it's just.
It's always a new direction.
Yeah, but it's a new direction. But the thing is that she broke journalistic rules, right? Remember, that's why Chris Cuomo got fired from CNN, was because he was helping his brother. And the head of the network said, that's not journalistic integrity. You got to go. Okay. Olivia Nuzzi does the same thing, except she gets another job with a higher profile job with a better magazine. And then New York, it's like, and then none of her friends in the media are saying anything. I know her. This is not about her personally, but this is just about the double standard in the business. Is it pretty privilege? Is it white lady privilege? Like, what is it? And then,
it's both of that. I mean, I think it is both wildly. It's both of that.
I want you to watch this though, because this will help you. This is her appearing on. Is this the first one I should play? Are there two of them?
No. Yeah, let's just use the one, Tim and Olivia.
This is.
I'm so glad we're talking about this, Don.
This is Tim Miller, her on Tim Miller's show.
You said you helped him, right, during the campaign, and
I write about it. I write about what I.
Speaking of lighting, look at this. It filters. Do you see
Don't get me started. I can't. I don't want to comment on someone's appearance, but
not her appearance. I'm just saying the filters. It's not about her appearance. I'm talking about.
I think she just has a bad webcam, and we've all been there, haven't we?
Okay, keep going.
Wrong. Yeah.
And it's like once you've done that, like you didn't, Like you cease to have become like a journalistic actor, and like you're.
Well, I lost my
with
job, right? I was fired.
Right.
I was fired, and I was in hiding, and I was afraid.
Scared? Were you scared? Yeah.
I was terrified. Yeah.
Of
what? I mean, I write in the book about, I was terrified of the man I did not marry. And I was very worried about people knowing where I was. And
I'm sorry.
Pause this? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we can pause it.
Sorry.
No,
Cry, girl. Cry when you don't have an answer.
Hold on. Nikki, producer Nikki, what did you say when we watched this earlier in our production meeting?
I said, them some white lady tears if I've ever seen them.
The most.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, why? I love it when it's interesting to me when someone can be as bold as to write a book and do those things, or give a certain energy about something, and then all of a sudden starts crying. And the white lady tears come out, and everybody's supposed to feel sorry for her. I mean, do you know what I'm saying, Francesca?
Of course, but it's more white lady tears come out when you've been caught, when you don't have an answer, when you know you were in the wrong. And Tim was being, I think Tim and Olivia know each other. Tim was being very cordial, was being very gentle with these questions. They're very obvious questions, which was, didn't you cease to be a journalist in the moment that you started this relationship? And, did you help? Effectively, didn't you help him? Because she did strike up a relationship with RFK Jr. She was writing a glowing piece about him. And, then she's like, yeah, I was afraid. And he asked a question, well, what were you afraid of? And she doesn't know, because I'm telling you, this is a woman who has failed up her whole career. She is not afraid of anything. She's not even afraid of her ex-fiance. She's fucking around on him behind his back in these dirty ass text messages. You're not afraid of your fiance. You take that man for granted. I'm sorry to do this, but like, for real, that is someone who does not fear their fiance. If you're texting with some other married guy fucking openly while you're supposed to be a journalist, and she's like, I was afraid of I can't say Mossad, I can't say the boogeyman, I can't say the chupacabra, I was afraid of the man I was going to marry. Hang on, pause, it's so silly. And the fact that she and Vanity Fair parted ways is good for, hey, it's good for journalism as a whole. But here's my theory, Don. She got greedy. All she had to do was get fired from that job. I think New York Magazine, right? Get fired from the job, don't say shit, and go on to a very good job at Vanity Fair. Instead, what did she do? She decided, I'm a victim. I have a story to tell. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to tell all. I'm going to do a book tour. She made it about herself. She wanted even more money. She wanted to monetize her story. And look, it got her into so much fucking trouble. We're hearing details we didn't even want to know. And my God, you talk about her having privilege. What about RFK Jr.? Remember when these kinds of stories would take down people in power?
Mm-hmm.
They have no shame anymore. It's like, I don't want to hear about all the nasty ass things that you want to do to this lady with honestly overplucked eyebrows and a way like a marshmallow jawline. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to hear this stuff. It is a fireable offense. You should not be out here taking away our hepatitis B vaccines.
I got to say, though, it can be confounding if you're ever white lady teared, because it's real. White lady tears is real. And everybody's like, oh my God, she's crying. Oh, what do we do? Oh my gosh. And you're like, the bitch was nasty. Like, it's now she's crying and you're like, oh my gosh, you're such a mean person. It's like, have you ever been white lady
Tim's not
teared?
feeling. Tim's doing this.
Tim's not. Oh yeah, look at his face. You can just put the freeze frame up there.
He
Tim's
knows.
like, yeah, he knows.
He knows.
He's probably
knows
friends
it's
with her.
silly.
Probably friendly with her. I think they are, but at least he had the cojones to do that. A lot of folks have been propping her up, and I was just surprised. I know is Jared Bernstein, the writer at the New York Times. I was surprised that he did this article on her, and someone else did another glossy article on her. And then the book starts coming out, and people finally read it, and one person went after, and then everybody piled on top. But there were so many people who were silent. And again, what is with the double standard? Joy Reid didn't get that treatment, didn't get that second chance. I didn't. Tamron Hall did not. Nobody, like, you know,
a lot of people didn't.
Definitely not. Karen Attiah didn't get it.
Nope. Karen Attiah didn't get it. Yeah.
But someone who broke journalistic integrity, and not only that, confirmed that she was sleeping with sources and people she wrote about, and that she was helping them. And all of a sudden, she gets a big cushy job at a glossy magazine. What the fuck is that?
Yep. I mean, that's exactly right. And I think, and it's funny, you mentioned Karen and you mentioned Joy, and I think both of them, you know, in part were fired over them standing 10 toes down when it comes to Gaza, genocide, definitely racial justice. You know, these are figures who have been incredible stalwarts at the Washington Post, at MSNBC. And it's interesting because it absolutely is white lady privilege. It's white people privilege. But it's also interesting that, like, actually when it comes down to it, you don't care that she slept with a source. You know, you care more about someone going outside the lines of what it is acceptable editorially for you to cover and what it's not. That's where you draw the line, which is so gross, you know? And like I said, all she had to do was not release a book and not go on this little press junket, and she could have been coasting. She could have, you know, been fine sleeping with news sources. I mean, who knows? There's plenty of urchins. Kash Patel's looking for a new honey trap, you know? Honey pot.
Speaking of white ladies, guess who's going to be on 60 Minutes? Who do you think? I'll give you a guess. Who do you?
I know the answer, but we can let the
All right.
audience.
Anyway, let's show the picture. So this is what's going to happen this coming weekend. Leslie Stahl sits down with outspoken Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene in the Georgia Congresswoman's first interview since abruptly announcing her resignation from Congress. 60 Minutes Sunday. Silence. You had a lot for words the first time, Francesca.
I was zooming in to try to see if they fixed her hair or if it still looks like a Barbie got caught in a dryer. You know, like the just the shredded ends there. But yeah, look, this is, who knows what's going on at 60 Minutes. This is not your regular 60 Minutes. This is, you know, the new CBS's 60 Minutes. The editor has resigned. I don't know who the new editor is. Again, I'm not saying they're terrible, but like, this is a different beast. So we may not see some strong questions in this interview. We may not see them hold them accountable. And if they edit the interview in any way, well, there will be a lawsuit coming out, and you can bet that 60 Minutes will settle for it. But yeah, I am curious. I'm not gonna lie. I'm curious. Aren't you curious to know what she's gonna say, how she's gonna spin it?
No, it's easy. I mean, she's gonna say, "Look, I hate the guys have been, you know, bad and running the place and blowing smoke up our ass, and it's time that women stand up, and the Epstein files, and you know, I contributed to the environment, but now I'm aware." And
wait, hang on, stick on that though. Stick on that. I would say give Marjorie credit. I don't give Marjorie credit on anything, but there is the one thing she's done that no Republican has done, God, since 2016, I feel like, is apologize for their behavior.
True.
Now,
true.
She should get specific. She should talk more, say more about that. You know, what kinds of actions, but like, the fact that she is even apologizing is very off-brand for MAGA.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's a pivot. And I say, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And hopefully she has changed. But I like to see actions. I don't believe her right now, but let's see what her actions are. That's all I have to say. Here's the deal.
And I think, you know, it might just be that she wants that payout. You know, she wants the pension that's going to kick in. She's worth now, what, $25 million. She's got what she wanted. She'll launch her podcast with an even softer focus than Megyn Kelly's. And, you know, she'll keep on spitting. I mean, look, if she's going to be in the influencer space on the right, she's going to have to dip back into the well of, you know, conspiracies and racism and transphobia and hate and all the stuff that they're good at. So, but look, it might be the only time, one of the few times that you're going to get her sitting down with like an actual journalist. So I hope Leslie Stahl, you know, Leslie Stahl can be tough. So I hope she is given the editorial freedom to be tough.
Okay. You see that?
It's beautiful. What is it?
It says The Don Lemon Show. You see that? Right? You see it, Francesca?
I see it. I see it.
Okay. Look what's inside.
So cute.
It is a Christmas ornament. And look what's on the other side. I hope I don't drop it.
Cute.
Isn't that cute? And I just got it. I've been so excited. I'm waiting for it, and I'm happy that it came. And so all you have to do is, I'll tell you how to do. You just go to donlemon.com and then click on the merch store. But anyway, Francesca, thank you. I appreciate you joining. Make sure you check Francesca out on all of her platforms. And you have an article out now, you said, about...
Hell yeah. Go watch my Wicked video, everybody. YouTube.com/FrannyFio, FRANIFIO. Sorry about my connection. And thank you, Peter, for throwing that up there. Everybody give it some love. Bitchuation Room is my podcast. Tuesdays, we stream live, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. Comedians, experts, you can listen as a podcast. And yeah, Don, it's always a pleasure. I promise next time the internet won't be like this.
Well, have a great weekend, and thank you. We hope to see you soon. Now go take care of that little one, okay?
I will.
You. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so guys, look how cute this. It's a perfect gift, and the box is amazing. So I was so excited when I saw this. I didn't know they were going to do this box, but that is fantastic. So it comes with a box. All you have to do is put a red bow on the box, right? And then look at that. Look how cute that is. Oh, shoots. I just pulled the thing out because it's... But look how cute that is. Isn't it adorable? So adorable. And then, like I said, on that side is this. But I'm so excited, and I put one on the tree. But it is gorge. It is gorge, and it's a great, beautiful present that you can give to folks. And not only give it to yourself too. There it is. Amazing. I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but I am. So I hope that you got it. But then on the other side, like I said, it says this. So go to the merch store. Just go to donlemon.com and click on merch. Or you can click on, if you see some of the merch we have on our social, and you can just click on the link, okay? It is cute, and it's a great souvenir, and it's a great box, right? As you get, the link is in the chat. The link is in the chat if you're, I guess it's the chat on all of the platforms, okay? So what else do we have? Is that it? You can wear them as earrings too. Is that it, producers? Is that all we have? Are we good?
I think that's it. You sent that one photo if you wanted to show that.
Oh, so this is a photo. So everyone's been asking me about, the thing, and was I doing? Look, y'all know me. I'm not scared of anybody or nothing. I just say it like it is, and I don't try to hurt anybody's feelings. But look, hey, look, sometimes. So this was on night before last at the Root. We were all honored, and so that's Abby and Tamron and Don and Gail King. We all got up and spoke together. I didn't realize that I was going to be speaking with all those beautiful ladies, but I was, and it was indeed an honor. But there we go. So yeah, So anyways, thank you. I'm going to see you guys around. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you become a member of the Don Lemon channel. So please support independent media, especially independent journalists, especially, I have to say it, journalists of color, because we often get the short shrift on everything. You saw, we talked about the Olivia Nuzzi story. We don't get those second, third, fourth, fifth chances to fail up like that. Okay? So thank you so much for supporting us. I'm going to see you back here on Monday morning for sure at 10 a.m. Eastern. If something big happens, or important, I'm going to bring it to you. So also make sure you go to donlemon.com. Go back to donlemon.com. At the top of donlemon.com, you can buy the tickets. Where's the one with the tickets, Andy? There we go. It's top of the tickets. We are going to be, if you click on it, New Year's Eve in New Orleans at the Spotted Cat and DBA. This is a ticketed event. It's an open bar. I believe there are snacks, right? Hors d'oeuvres? Yep. So you can get the VIP treatment. You can get the standing room treatment. You can get the seated treatment. The Lemonheads are going to have a special section. It's going to be fun if you do decide to come to New Orleans. If not, here's what I want you to do. Can you guys do me a favor? I want you to, if you're a Lemonhead, whatever, organize a Don Lemon New Year's Eve watch party, a Lemon Nation or Lemonhead watch party, a Lemonhead watch party for New Year's Eve. And we will check in with you. All you have to do is have a webcam or an iPhone cam or whatever, and we can check in with you and put you on, okay? We'll check in wherever you are. If your party is big enough and fun enough, we're going to check in with you. So start organizing those Lemonhead New Year's Eve watch parties, and then you can email us at thedonlemonshow.com at gmail.com, thedonlemonshow@gmail.com, and we will, you can zoom in. We will zoom in to you too. Lemonhead New Year's Eve watch party. My producers are going, what the hell? All right, everybody. Be informed without being inundated. I'll see you back here at 10 a.m. for sure on Monday morning. Until then, be informed without being inundated and turn the TV off. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Your support means the world to us. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a show. We're live every weekday at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Eastern Time with new clips dropping at 2 p. and 8 p. And if you want even more Don Lemon Show content, join the Lemon community. Members get exclusive posts, behind-the-scenes videos, and live chats just for you. So hit the join button or visit our channel page to sign up. Thanks again for all your love and your support, and I'll see you next time.